John and Gordy show. Another beautiful, fantastic morning. A little chilly, you know. Might have to wear a jacket. Bundle up. Bring the gloves just in case you.
Blip, 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 blip. Happy Friday, John.
Yes.
The
Yes.
10th day of November.
This is our second week that we're wrapping up.
Yeah.
And you would never know that.
You'd think.
You could
boy,
never tell.
Right. Yeah, because it sounds like the first day we've ever
Been on radio.
on radio pretty much every day.
Exactly. So,
yeah, it's Friday. Yeah,
it is. It's
looking
nice.
clear,
And we're seeing the
cool.
joggers practice for this weekend. They're closing off lots of areas around town for
Are
the
they?
joggers.
Is there some event going on?
There
A-
is
a
just
run?
a huge event.
Is it?
Gigantic.
I don't know anything about that.
Okay.
I think
I
you're
can
making
tell.
it up, aren't
No,
you?
I can tell.
Yeah,
But
it's,
there is an event.
it's- Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't think so.
No, really.
clear-
Seriously, there is an event. I'm not kidding.
A running event.
Yes.
Some sort of fundraiser, perhaps? A charitable event?
But since
Or
I
just
don't know anything about it, I can't answer those questions.
Why'd you bring
so
it up?
stop probing me.
Okay. It's Friday,
Very
November 10th.
personal.
It's very clear out there this morning. 36 degrees, expecting a high of 41 this afternoon, and the weekend looks nice too. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So we're off and running on a Friday. Yeah.
You know, I got to say that it's fun looking at the Civic Media app.
Is it?
There's so many things, so many places you can go on that.
Lots of shows.
All the shows they're
They're all there.
The podcasts,
Yeah.
and it's just and it's so easy to operate. You know, you can text, you can do a whole bunch of things through that.
You can text us.
It-
you can
You know,
email us.
it's one of the better apps
Yes.
that I've seen. So they have done their work.
And it's free. How many things are free today? You can download it to your Android phone or your iPhone or whatever you got.
Well,
It's free.
I've been telling people
What?
that they have to send the John and Gordy show money if they
To get
wanted
the
to
app?
download it. Now
Really?
you kind of wrecked that for me.
Sorry, buddy.
My little side scam.
Yeah, no, it doesn't
All
work
right.
that way. You can get it for free and just put it on your phone, and it is amazing. It's a wonderful app.
Yeah,
I like the app.
Just before we go on the air,
Yeah.
it's Todd Albaugh. His repeat from the day before
Okay.
is just before our program.
All right.
And on the way in, I listened to his show, and he was talking about how he had changed his political point of view over time.
Over the years.
And you know, he always tells the same story, and it's great. It's a great story, you know, his viewpoint on guns
Mm-hmm.
and abortion.
Mm-hmm.
And I really admire anybody that can change their mind, be approached with new facts, and then make the adjustment and go with those facts.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the one thing that I think has irritated me about conservatives is no matter how you present new data, new research, or something was passed as a law and it worked, and then the law kind of had an end date to it and left, and they didn't renew it, even though they found out that the law worked. And when you're presented with new information, you got to change the way you think. And he did. And I admire that. And that's the frustrating thing about conservatives, in my mind, is that they don't allow the facts to get in the way of their ideology, of the endpoint or the outcome they want to put in place.
Well, I think a lot of there may be plenty of people out there that do that, but they do just what you said, that they modify their views, or they see the light. They see the
light.
You know what? I was wrong about that, but they don't exactly come right out and say it and announce it to their friends, or
Right.
they don't put out a message about it or anything. But they modify their views, and then they come to some sort of new reasoning about things and realize, gee, that was outdated thinking that I was doing.
That's great stuff.
It is.
When they do
It's
that.
good.
It is.
They have a revelation.
The
of
thing
sorts.
is, liberals, progressives, Democrats, they do that all the time. They're constantly adjusting how they would attack a certain problem. So new things
Right.
come up, they think of a reason why they should reject it or not reject it.
Exactly.
So we're very open-minded. And I think you'd call that woke, right? Woke.
Some people call it woke, or they had an awakening.
So,
Awakening, and now they're awoke.
I don't know. Say,
Now they're awakened.
Somebody described it as it's better to be woke than asleep.
Asleep.
Yeah.
Sleepwalking.
So sleepwalking
Through their lives.
Accept everything that their Orange King declares. Yeah.
King.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happened since we were on the air yesterday. Boy, Joe Manchin has decided he's not going to run for the Senate. I mean, the thing is, things start really speeding up now that we're a year away from the presidential election.
Right.
Now people are, jumping off the sidelines. They're figuring out what side they're on about things. Joe Manchin has decided he's not going to run again in West Virginia for the Senate race because I think he was up against a really strong opponent in the Republican side, is what I'm hearing. And he's kind of feeling things out. His announcement sounds like he's going to maybe consider a third-party run, that he's the moderate middle. He's going to bring people together.
Right.
Well, we'll see how that works. I don't know. That could be a good thing, or that could be a horrible thing for the Democrats and the Republicans. I mean, he could draw from both sides, and then it could get, it could put a whole new twist on things.
It seems so wrong that the Senate could flip to the Republican side because of Manchin. I heard another senator saying he's not going to run, another Democratic senator not running. So, I mean, if these candidates are replaced with a Republican, then the Senate could possibly go to the Republicans.
Right.
And the scary thought is that people just vote their party. And not the ideas or not the possibility of what would happen if that party became the majority party. I think people should start thinking more along those lines. Well, how would the country benefit from this party controlling the Senate or this party controlling the House? We've seen what that looks like now, anyway, with the MAGAs in charge of the House. And you told me that Mike Johnson, the speaker, has withdrawn, taking money away from the IRS.
Well, they're not going to push that issue. They were talking about downsizing the IRS, taking money away from them. They decided, he announced that they're not doing that now. They don't have the votes. Or
that it was just a bad idea and added to the deficit.
No,
right?
They just didn't have the votes.
Oh, they didn't have the votes. Oh,
that's it.
They didn't see the light on that one. Okay. I get it now.
Yeah. All right. And in the meantime, the government's going to shut down in a week. That vote comes to, we have to get some kind of something.
Has to happen.
Something has to happen within the next week or the government's going to shut down. Here we go again. So now that's on his plate, Mike Johnson's plate. He's got to try to figure out how to prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
So a lot of new things for the new guy to consider.
Oh, man. You mentioned Manchin possibly running for president.
Third party.
That would be a third party, independent party.
Right. That never works.
No,
never works.
It never works. And then, I heard that Jill Stein, the Green Party candidate, is gearing up and getting ready to run again as well. And now when you look at these things.
And Robert Kennedy Jr.
And Kennedy Jr., these individuals are going to pull votes away from the Democrat.
Yeah.
And Biden already has a huge problem with young people, old people, everybody, because everybody thinks he's too old. He's not going to make it.
Yeah.
He's 80 years old. Trump is only 3 years younger and completely out of shape, and he's lost his mind, as we have all heard. So
allegedly,
allegedly, yeah. That's I can't really make my decision up on that one yet, but.
On it rolls.
It looks like the presidency, as far as going to the Democrats, it's going to be a tough roll. It is.
It is. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So here we go again.
I know.
It's just, it just never ends. By the way, we have a new addition to the, we added the news wheel this week back here.
Yep.
If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or however you watch, we've got the news wheel happening here. We haven't spun it yet. We're waiting for the first spin of the day. We're all on the edge of our chairs. But We have our new. If you don't know what our phone number is, we've got it right here.
We've got it right there, and
I don't know if you can see it though.
It may be really small.
Yeah, we might have to make a bigger poster or something. But thanks to our graphics department, the John and Gordy graphics team put this together.
Size. No, it looks good. It looks good. I mean, you got to really.
It's dark in here this morning. Do we? Doesn't it
is
seem
it
a little dark?
I don't know.
We'll have to amp up the lights here in a couple of minutes.
Because I'm watching your monitor.
Yeah.
But the one up there looks good.
Okay.
It looks
maybe
a little
it's
dark
just it could be my monitor.
Yeah, it could be.
Okay. All right. Well,
could
we're
be,
just getting going.
Could be our eyes. Oh no.
Okay.
Hey, will somebody please restart the computer and update it?
Well, remind me tomorrow. Here we go. Oh, we got so many computers and right in front of us. There's a glare of light here. It's a way to wake up on a Friday.
It is. So waking up in front of computers.
Digital light.
I know.
And a little bit later on, we've been reaching out to the White House a little bit with our connections
Trying
there.
to get somebody to respond, right?
Yeah, and I don't know. They said somebody would get back to us today, and we gave them a special phone number to call. So we'll see if they do. We don't know.
Think about 7:20, somewhere around that time. If we can
sometime
get
in our
them
7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So
it's later for them, right? It's like 8:20, and they should be wide awake.
You think so?
Yes, raring to go. And that's the time they'll have and will be here trying to talk to somebody at the White House.
Somebody from the White House, we hope. We'll keep our fingers crossed on that. We don't know for sure. We'll find out later.
Well, we will. We will. But I mean,
and the other thing that happened, the SAG-AFTRA strike is over, right?
Yes.
That's finally over. So now the people in Hollywood can get back to work and making those high-quality TV and movie shows. And that's great.
And we can go on
4 months is long enough.
We can go on the air and act like professionals again.
We're not in SAG
Instead of
or
acting
AFTRA.
like scabs.
No. It doesn't affect radio people. Radio,
it doesn't?
No, we're not. We're not a part of that union.
I thought we were just sneaking in here.
No, we're not a part of the union. 6:18.
It is
clear and 36 degrees. We're just getting started on this Friday. Hey, stay with us
on WMDX.
We'll be back in a minute.
The number 608-879-8255, 879-TALK.
Yeah, give us a call.
Or text.
Give us a jingle. Yeah. This Hollywood strike is over. That SAG-AFTRA strike, it's over. Yeah. People can get back to work.
Hooray
in Hollywood. Yes. Oh, boy. Hollywood. The bright lights, big city. L.A., all the actors and actresses, all the rich actresses and actors can get back to work again.
All the destroyed dreams.
Broken dreams.
The empty, vacuous L.A. streets. Yeah, that's the place to go.
I've been to LA a few times. It's an interesting place. I would not want to live anywhere in the Los Angeles area, but nice to visit.
Well, nice and hilly and stuff like that.
Oh, there's a lot of things to see there, and it's great to visit.
I was there once, and I visited the Bono restaurant.
The what?
Sonny Bono's restaurant, way back when he was still alive, and he had that restaurant, and he used to walk around. He was the manager, and
Did you see
managers like to talk
to
the clients and the customers, and they walked around. I talked to Sonny Bono.
Did you
briefly.
really? What did you say to him?
Hi,
Sonny.
I have no idea. Yeah, that really.
That was about
that's about it. What do you say, right?
I know.
Yeah.
He got into politics. He became a senator, right?
Yes, a conservative. Yeah.
And then, he was skiing one day, and that didn't go well.
No, those trees.
Yeah, you got to watch out for those trees when you're downhill skiing. Anyway, SAG-AFTRA, they have come to an agreement thanks to Fran Drescher, the nanny. She's the union president. She put it all together finally. They were out for 118 days.
That's a long time.
That's a long, long time. 160,000 actors belong to that union. The SAG-AFTRA strike is over. They get $1 billion over 3 years. That was the final deal. And they get $40 million in streaming participation as a bonus. Now, that wasn't really what they wanted. They wanted a piece of the action. They didn't want just a bonus every year. They wanted a 2% streaming revenue. Streaming is the thing.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, how old the rules, regulations were,
right?
What they had to put up with. Streaming, come on, folks. Finally they have that now in their contract. So,
right. They were trying to get 2%, which would have been another $1 billion, but the other side said no. The management side, no. And so they were then bargaining for a 1% on streaming, which would have been $500 million. They settled for $40 million. So they didn't really get what they wanted on the streaming thing, but that's okay. They're going to be all right. $1 billion over 3 years.
We're going to see more commercials because of it, with the commercial-supported streaming services that are abundant at this point.
But thank goodness, because for 4 months they've not been producing any new television or movies or anything like that. So thank goodness we can finally get some high-quality television to watch.
All right, yes, high-quality television. Over the air television is so bad.
Yeah.
So terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Have you watched anything that's good?
Primetime television?
Yes, primetime. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
regular over-the-air television.
I can't think of one show that
I don't have one either. I don't.
No real appointment television. I watch the late night shows sometimes.
Yeah.
I stay up late,
right.
but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about like sitcoms and things.
Right.
I don't know. I can't think of it.
The reality TV programs kind of did it for me. I have no interest in watching, real life.
But the HBO stuff and and the movies and all that stuff was stalled during this strike, and now they're finally going to get off the dime and get those movies out that they've been holding off on, get back to production. And we're talking about a lot of high-priced movie stars and stuff, but really there are a lot of actors and actresses out there that are still just struggling to pay their bills.
Right.
And so this is a great deal for them too.
Yeah.
It goes all the way down the line.
The people who write the shows, the producers, the syndicators, I know that.
Yeah.
It's just everything is finally coalescing around, something that is more 21st century,
right.
And everybody's going to get paid for it. And now, of course, everybody has to deal with the AI problem.
Well, there's that. They did, and that is a part of the new contract too. They have some limits on AI now as far as the writers are concerned, and they have to have actual people writing the shows up to a limit. They can use some AI, but not. But they've limited it.
Right. They can't really count it as intellectual property. artificial intelligence written
Yeah.
shows.
The streaming was a big deal too, because you see a show on HBO or wherever it initiates, and then it switches to another channel next year, and then as it goes
Right.
as it gets older, it goes streaming one place and then another and then another and another. And a big part of the issue is, well, how do you keep track of all that?
Right.
Because it just keeps changing channels and changing distribution places, and
Right.
so finally they worked out some kind of deal on that, at least to start out with. Yeah. So they were out for 118 days, and they're back to work, those SAG-AFTRA people. Yeah.
I felt it.
Did you?
I
So hooray for Hollywood. Yes,
well,
we're good for them. They're back to work, and we love that.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Now we'll get some new shows maybe in the next year. Right now,
Just
there's nothing new out there.
keep your TV on, and eventually you'll start seeing some new stuff that you'll really like.
Well, one of the amazing things, is watching Disney Plus.
Yeah?
There's only one show,
What's-
and every 3 months they have another new show, and that's what I'm supposed to pay, like, what, $10, $20 a month to do, is to have Disney Plus give me one new show.
Well, why do you have Disney Plus then? What is the one new show that you like?
Oh, my
You
gosh.
can't think of it, can you?
Well, Loki just finished.
Who?
The last episode of Loki.
What's Loki? I never even heard of it.
Well,
Is that a cartoon show?
I would have said, don't ever say that on the air.
Okay.
But
Do you know what it is, Sam? Loki?
I think I've seen one episode of it,
Is it
maybe, but it's from the Marvel universe. It's
Okay,
about,
here we go again.
yeah, it's about
It's-
Loki.
Here we
You're
go.
right. That's
Yeah,
all.
Marvel.
It's all Marvel
What
for you.
is that?
If it's not
What
Marvel,
is that?
you don't want to have anything to do with it.
What's that universe thing go on? Look,
You're running around in your
Thor.
costumes and
it's Norse, the Norse god thing. You might have heard of that.
Do you and your wife and your kids
Mythology.
put the costumes on to watch these movies and sit back
Yes,
in your
we
movie
do.
theater
Yes,
recliners?
we acted out in the
Yeah.
living room like, no.
I'll bet you do. I'll bet you do.
But, Loki is part of the Norse mythology.
Of course it is.
He's the brother of Thor,
Thor.
adopted brother of Thor.
Oh, he's adopted too.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
How interesting.
So,
You're really
look,
deeply into this.
I don't want to give away the end, the last episode, because we
sure.
have suffered through Disney Plus for all this time,
Okay.
and I know that everybody may not have checked out the latest episode.
Yeah, I
The
may
new
not
episode comes out on Thursdays, and that was yesterday, and I watched it,
Yeah?
and I know now what happens. It's an amazing
good.
thing because it kind of fits in.
Well, thanks
with
for
the
keeping us
mythology.
updated. Okay, that's good. I'm glad you
Really?
do something in your
You
spare
really-
time.
I can
that's
see
worthwhile.
you're concerned.
It's-
You're going to run to your TV and start watching
I can't
Marvel
wait.
movies,
I
right?
can't wait. To
We
get
invited
home.
you over. We invited you over.
Oh, yeah, okay. We'll be back after this brief timeout. Live from the Solidarity Reeling Studios at the Civic Media Global Headquarters in the capital city of Madison, Wisconsin, on State Street, just a block off the Capitol. It's the John and Gordy Show.
Yeah, babe.
John Peterson, Gordy Young, and you, dear listener.
Yeah, we used to be in radio a long time back. So,
Did we?
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me, because I forgot that part of my
Hard
life.
to imagine. We don't want to admit that, but
Then I got into television, so
yeah,
that was a big deal.
you became the television guy.
TV weatherman for 20
I'll be
years.
honest.
So, yeah,
you
what?
know, we were talking about the fact that you're unfamiliar with the Marvel universe.
I am.
But it's amazing that I forgot that you left town.
Well, thanks.
I mean, that was,
you know,
that
so
was,
you forgot that I left.
It was
That's
so
nice.
long ago.
You just figured I was not calling you anymore.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, well, what a jerk. You know, he's not calling
Yeah,
me.
I actually moved to Indiana for 20 years, John. Thanks for remembering that.
Just to get as far away as possible
Yeah, I was like,
from the
boy.
whole idea that we did programs together.
Yeah,
So
we did some radio, we did some TV.
you can
yeah,
thank
it was
me
good.
for your television career, by
Thanks.
the way. If it wasn't for me
Thanks.
getting you into that cable show, you wouldn't know how to handle the cameras.
Okay. Yeah. I have a little different view of that, but that's, I think I was in TV before that.
That's
but
right. I think you're the one
Okay.
who got me into the TV show.
That's kind of what happened. Yeah. Yeah, that was a long time ago. It was. Wow. When I think about the summer of 92 at 92 FM,
yeah.
way back in the day, those were great times. That was a wonderful station for us. It was, kind of a dumpy place, but it was good radio.
We had
so.
T-shirts and bumper stickers that said "Get Mad."
Yeah.
Get MAD.
Yeah, and now here we are on Mad Radio again.
Again, exactly.
Slightly different
Full
frequency,
circle.
92.7, but, here we are. And you can call us. We got our phone numbers right here if you're watching. But
And
if you're listening, 608-879-8255.
right?
Call us. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah.
Should we spin the wheel?
Yeah, we haven't spun the news wheel yet.
Yeah, does it
We've
have
got all kinds of stories. We'll see if any of them match up with what we have on the wheel.
anything to do with guns?
Well, let's see.
Find out. Or safety.
No.
Safety guns.
You have a gun story?
I do, but
All
let's see
right.
what happens.
All right.
It
I
may-
don't have guns on the wheel, but
but it may reject the whole idea. We'll just stretch. Oh,
Let's
this
see.
is perfect. It's going fast today.
marijuana. Do you have any pot stories? No.
No.
Okay. I could see by that blank stare in your eyes.
if we had legal marijuana in the state, I would probably have a pot story.
Space news. You don't have any space news, huh? What was your gun story? Let's go one more time. See what we got
We
here.
don't have it up on the wheel, so my gun story.
I actually do have space news if it comes back. Look at that. What was I saying?
Space news.
Holy smoke.
All right.
All right.
How
Now,
did you
here's
do that?
It's just the way it
Steer
goes.
away from my story. Let's go to yours.
Well, let me dial it up here. Give me a moment. There's this comes to us. Let's see. Solar superstorm could wipe out the internet. Boy, there's a headline for you.
This is a real story.
This
isn't it?
is a real story. This just came out a couple of days ago, November 8th. Solar superstorm could wipe out the internet for weeks or months, scientists says.
That can't happen.
It can happen.
It cannot
Remember-
happen.
Remember when everybody was worried that when, December 31st, 2000, when we went to
Yes,
the new millennium, when it flipped over to the year
The
2000,
computers weren't set.
everybody
for that.
was
Yeah.
worried that all the computers would go
Right.
down and chaos would
Right.
go all around the world. It didn't happen. Nothing happened.
Nothing.
Anyway, we marvel at the Northern Lights, John. You've seen the Northern Lights, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
That reminds me of a story, but I'll come back to that. The Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis,
Yes.
right? One time I was on the air doing TV weather with my co-host over there in Indiana, and we were talking about the Northern Lights.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of saying Aurora Borealis, I said, yeah, I love to see those Areola Borealis. And oh, boy, that touched a nerve.
Oh, man.
That's a stupid
Wow.
thing, I said. Anyway.
That's like saying, what is the Marvel Universe?
Well, not everybody is into the Marvel Universe, John. I mean, come on. Give us a break, will you?
Okay.
All right, now back to this story. Okay, the internet has come of age, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we get that. This Professor Peter Becker of George Mason University says that because there's going to be increased solar activity, they believe, in 2024 of all years, next year.
What, do they have any convention on the sun?
Well, listen, listen to this. I mean, these happen every once in a while, like every 100 years.
Have we ever lost? No. 100 years
well,
ago,
listen,
we didn't even have the internet to be interrupted.
No, we didn't, but we had telegraphs, and we did have, some electricity back then. And when these last, I think it was 1856. I'm trying to dial up the story here right now, but hang on a minute. The thing is, the last time this happened,
it did have interruptions.
There were sparks flying off the wires of the telegraph,
really?
and it electrocuted some of the telegraph operators at that time because of this solar flare thing that happened in 18.
Did it kill?
Well,
telegraph.
I think when you say electrocuted, I think that means
that seems like
you're toast.
An incredible,
in more ways than one,
electrical pulse.
Yes. Well, listen,
through the universe.
There have been a lot of solar flares, according to this professor, and it's called a coronal mass ejection. And the most we'll get is about 18 hours of warning, or maybe 24 hours of warning before these particles actually get to the Earth. It's blobs of plasma, large blobs of plasma or superheated matter fly through space, and they hit the planet's magnetic field. Wow. This is scary, isn't it?
That is. So
and
we'll have to clean our antennas from the plasma.
Well,
right?
Yeah, it has happened before. Okay, here it is. 1859 it happened.
All right.
That was the last time one of these, that was called the Carrington event. I don't know why. I don't know who Carrington was. Probably the guy who discovered this kind of thing. But it actually took out telegraph systems. Sparks were literally flying off the telegraph lines. Some operators got electrocuted because the wires ended up carrying high voltage, and they were never supposed to be able to do that. And so the heavy...
It's almost like a movie. The special effects, they always show the wires sparking.
And listen to this. These were telegraph lines that were heavy-duty wires. They were robust compared with the fragile electronics that we have today.
Yeah.
So if this happens, next year, they're saying that it could knock out the internet. It could knock out the internet all around the world. Can you imagine that?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
I really can't.
Yeah. Well, get ready because it could happen. So we'll keep you posted. They say this actually, they can track this back to 14,000 years ago by looking at trees. The rings in the tree line, they see like big superstorms of this kind have happened in the past. Isn't that scary and frightening?
I read a story where, this big asteroid hit the Earth, and it's now, swimming around underneath the Earth's crust. Parts of this world that hit our world is floating around. Big chunks of it are floating under there, and that is probably
where the aliens
what
live.
Killed all the dinosaurs, or actually, I don't even know if the dinosaurs were around at that point. They actually say that it could have created life on this planet.
Ah. Well, that's an interesting theory.
From an alien source. So we're all kind of aliens here on the planet Earth.
There's a lot of people that believe the aliens live under the Earth, in their own,
But ever since I read that story, I'm thinking, my gosh, what if something like that happens again? I mean, we have no recourse. We can't do anything about it. And we'll have just, piles and piles of dust. Asteroid dust on everything.
A lot of cleanup to do.
Yes. A lot of sand piles.
Maybe the aliens will come up finally and save us. They'll come up from under the Earth and save us.
Oh, yeah.
From all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That there it is. They're living under the Earth's crust.
There's the silver lining.
Floating around in molten lava cities.
Yes. And we will say thank you, aliens, for saving our butts. You've been so kind.
Except the Republicans. They'll want to send them back to under the Earth's crust again, and do not come up here.
All right.
Somehow
okay. Well, that's our space news for today.
It is.
Did you have another?
It's a nice story.
You wanted to do?
Do we have enough time for this story? This is
you got 5 minutes.
Story. Okay.
What, the gun? Is this the gun story?
The gun story.
Okay. What's new in the gun world?
Texas's plan, the Republican plan down there to place armed guards in every school, is falling apart.
Is it really?
It is. In response to mass shootings in the schools, they passed an unfunded, everything is unfunded when they pass these things, requiring armed guards on every campus. Now, this is unfunded. And as a local news station reported, the plan already appears to be falling apart as both financial constraints, because it's unfunded, and recruiting troubles are making it hard for many schools to fulfill those mandates. And it's a mandate, so it's an unfunded mandate. That's what Republicans hate about Democratic mandates. They're unfunded. Anyway, although the new law gives schools $15,000 grants per campus to pay for armed guards, the TV station reports that the Texas Association of School Boards has estimated it would cost $80,000 to place a resource officer just at one campus alone. So the $15,000 grant, not quite up to snuff.
It's not going to make it?
It's not working. It's not working.
Doesn't fit. The budget is not big enough for this.
Another
it's unfunded.
One issue driving up costs is a limited supply of people. This is the worst part. The limited supply of people who can safely wield firearms.
Oh, well, that's a problem. Yes.
You think
You're just going to hand them out to anybody?
Yeah. You know.
Jeez. That doesn't seem right.
I shoot a lot of possum.
Well, you would think in Texas they'd have plenty of people that can handle the guns, because they've
been carrying them for a long
it's
time.
Texas,
right?
It's a wild, wild west out there.
Every school district is going after the only people, the available people who are qualified to carry a gun anywhere.
Well,
so this is kind of a scary thought, because if they can't find people who can safely wield firearms and who are available to protect students, then who is carrying a firearm in Texas?
Yeah. Wow.
Is it okay just for them to carry it in restaurants, in theaters, and gatherings? Of course not.
No. Wow, that is quite a story. I mean, when you think about it, do we really want resource officers in the schools carrying a lot of weapons? I understand the other side's point in this. I mean, if a shooter comes in, then you got somebody at least in the building that can
the resource officer. Schools are unable to hire a dedicated armed guard.
Yes.
They're also trying to think of options for that, having armed regular staff members carrying guns as the guardian of the school.
That doesn't.
And faculty members are very unsettled over just that fact alone.
You
think if you want
my
stable
gosh. Especially in
instructors.
detention class, if you're a teacher in there, you got to have some.
Well, that's where you have to have an
backup.
armed guard now.
Oh boy!
So out in the parking lots.
In your high school, did you have the teachers' lounge? Remember the teachers' lounge?
The teachers'
Did they still
lounge.
have that?
Yeah. I don't know.
Because in my high school, whenever the door would open, the teachers' lounge.
They do have a lounge.
Do they?
Yes.
Because whenever they opened that door, and students are
everybody
walking
tries
by,
to look.
you
Everybody
want to see
tries
what's
to
going
watch.
on in the teachers' lounge,
Right.
and there was always a cloud of smoke in my. They're in there having
That's
cigarettes.
True. That's true.
Yeah, taking a coffee break
or
and having a
bottle
smoke.
Of booze, a couple bottles here and there.
Drink it up, having a little party in the teachers' lounge.
I don't want to show anybody
that's-
that. Back then, it was a dangerous time where people used their fists. I'm so glad we graduated to firearms.
Well, in elementary school, did you have a paddle board in the classroom? I remember those.
I didn't
First,
have
second,
that.
third. Yeah,
No, I didn't have that.
They would paddle you.
Yeah.
Take you back into the coat room and smack you
no.
around.
Get
Yeah,
outta
I'm
here.
not
Get
kidding.
out
Yeah.
of here. What, do you go to
I-
a Catholic school?
No. It was public school in Warrenville, Illinois. Little Warrenville is like Mayberry.
I had a
really.
friend who went to a Catholic school, and he mentioned stories like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah,
So
we've come a long way since then. It's 6:48.
We have, huh? Now we just carry a gun and settle our arguments that way.
That's it.
So
Hey,
we
coming
have
up,
really progressed.
Coming up in our 7 o'clock hour, we're hoping to hear from the White House.
Yes.
So,
Special guest.
Stay with us.
Surprise guest
We'll
on
be back with more.
WMDX.
started out nice and clear. Now we've got some clouds rolling through, John.
You know,
And it's
in that-
36 degrees.
in the last segment, I did mention this.
Yeah.
It really didn't matter, but people were doing push-ups out on the sidewalk out there.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
they were doing push-ups.
Well, we had our
You
usual
gotta wonder
Friday
how
morning
clean
jogging
the,
team
clean
going
the
by.
sidewalk is. I mean,
Well,
come on.
there's a
folks.
guy out there with a leaf blower doing his thing
They're getting the town ready.
for some
Ready
big
for the
event that we
big-
don't know
A
about
big
this
running
weekend.
event that is going on down here.
You think so? We should check our sources to see what that event is. so
Somebody,
we can
please
clue
text
us in.
Text us.
Call us.
Go-
You
do
can text us. You
something.
can call us. We'd love to get the
We have
texts and the
We both
calls.
have laptops here. All we have to do is look at
Okay,
the running event in Madison this weekend, right?
we could do
I
that.
could just look it up real quick.
Unfortunately,
How
this
about,
table.
if we had,
yeah.
we were going to bring Alexa in.
Oh yeah,
One
Why
of
didn't-
these
I
times
thought
to
you were
start
gonna do
having, start having fun
conversations with Alexa.
Yeah,
I
some
think that's
kind
a
of
good.
relationship.
Well, we
going.
do have our Google thing here too. We
Hey,
got the Google. Hey Google. Hey Google. Da, 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 da,
If you
da.
say that, my watch is going to go off.
What-
Hey Google,
Mm.
it went off.
It went back to sleep.
Period. Yeah.
It hit its own snooze button.
Oh, I get it.
What's going on?
I didn't get it.
Yeah,
There it is.
ask it.
What running event is taking place in Madison, Wisconsin this weekend?
Don't you have to get a little closer to hold it up to your?
Here are some details.
Okay,
Right. So,
hold it up to the mic.
never tells me. Always puts it in writing.
Okay,
God. Well, there's a Madison Marathon.
is that it?
Yep.
Really?
There it is.
Tomorrow?
2 days.
2 days.
mhm.
Wow, that's a lot of running.
Conquer the cold. Sign up for the Madison Marathon and view beautiful, iconic Madison, Wisconsin when you challenge yourself with this Boston Marathon qualifying event.
Wow.
See you at the Capitol, it says.
So 26.5 miles. Is that what it is?
They're calling. They're saying it starts
Wow.
about 7 a.m.
Okay.
So
I forgot how long a marathon is.
they're talking Sunday. It says a 2-day event, but it says Sunday here.
Okay, that's a little
It's
confusing.
10K half marathon, and they got the road
so they have
course and everything.
So it's several running events.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them are on Saturday and then the big one's on Sunday.
Right.
You
Boston
think that?
qualifying.
Okay.
All right.
Have you ever tried to run a marathon? I've done
No, never.
five,
Never.
and I've done 5 and 10Ks in the. I don't do
I
them
don't run.
anymore.
I don't run.
No.
No.
Never.
No.
Ever.
No.
Why?
No. I walk quickly. When I walk very fast.
You're a speed walker.
I am a speed walker.
I love the speed walking events at the Olympics. I just think those are hilarious because they walk funny.
the
It's
hip,
like
the
it's-
hip movements.
Yes. I mean, it's just, they can't break into a running stride because that would be illegal. They have to walk, but they look funny.
But the weird part of that is, being a little bit older now and trying to
Little bit.
keep the spine
Jeez.
active.
I'm foot in the grave.
The swiveling of the hips is really bad for your spine.
Well, if you're out of
So,
shape.
You're not supposed to swivel your hips walking or running.
Okay.
So
Thank you for that
the
advice.
speed walk is a dangerous event and probably should be
eliminated.
stopped immediately.
Really?
Yeah.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
Hey, we were going to talk about, Joe Biden. He was in the area yesterday, not in Wisconsin, but he was in Belvedere, down by Rockford. He was
love
talking
Illinois,
he was talking to some union workers there.
Union thugs.
Thugs. He was talking to some union workers.
Oh, workers.
Yes. And
I'm so used to the Act 10
you know,
slogans that were thrown around,
well, he really has accomplished a ton of things in his first term as president.
Well, he has. We had to look real hard.
Well,
we did a search on the internet and didn't come up with much, but
yeah,
the Democrats are not
What are you
exactly
talking
out
about?
there publishing this information.
He's lowered
at
the cost of families' everyday expenses. More people are working than at any point in American history. Can you? Wow, that's just a mind-boggling
It's
thing.
stunning. Wait a minute. Hold on a
What?
second. From what I hear,
He created 11 million jobs.
no one wants to live in a society like this.
What?
This is a devastating
The
blow to the American way of life.
The unemployment rate's at 3.5%. And 17 states now have unemployment rates that are below 3%.
That is
wow.
unbelievable.
It's the truth. I'm telling you.
It's real. It's happening.
It's happening right now.
But no one would know it because
nobody gives credit to it because all this other stuff's going on.
Because there's a propaganda machine on the right that is able to get every small detail, everything that they want publicized ad nauseum, and it's just and it's settled into the public consciousness now that this is a really bad society. We're crumbling.
Well, that's not really
the economy is plummeting.
He actually Biden rescued the economy and changed the course of the pandemic.
Can that be true?
It is absolutely true.
Okay.
79% of adults are fully vaccinated. Let's see. Oh, there's a whole list here. I can go on and on, but
I'm waiting.
Go ahead.
I'm waiting for the next, COVID pandemic thing to happen, so then we can,
that's all we need.
We can cut the edge off of the possible MAGA vote.
Protected marriage for LGBTQ and interracial couples rallied to the world to support Ukraine in response to Putin's aggression. He really did. He took the lead on all this stuff. And
the American Rescue Plan.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Saved a lot of people. In fact, cut child poverty in half.
More people have health insurance than ever before.
Yeah, I want to mention this cutting child poverty in half because of the American Rescue Plan. Because, it was basically an experiment. No one talks about this, but it's an experiment in giving money to poor families. And when you cut the poverty in half, things happen. It's proof. Finally, we have proof that actually worked. People could get health care. They felt better about their lives.
Yes.
They could feed their children. They actually took care of child care. It was a success. And when it ran out and the Republicans all voted against it, not renewing it, we're back to, again, increasing child poverty again. It was an experiment that worked, and that proof should have changed the minds of Republicans. Why it didn't, I don't know.
So a whole list of accomplishments for the Biden administration now. Coming up in our 7 o'clock hour, we're going to be, hopefully, we think, talking to somebody from the White House about some of this, right?
Waiting. I'm waiting for this call.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll be back shortly, so stay with us.
All right.
We'll be right back to the action right after this message.
It's the John and Gordy Show.
John and Gordy in the morning.
As we were saying,
let the sun shine.
It's the John and Gordy Show.
The opinions that you may hear us express, expressly or otherwise, over the public's airways, is in no way to represent the opinions expressed or otherwise by our management, producers, sponsors, or various members of their staffs or their families or few friends.
Nor should these views express the opinions of the broadcasters, the disc jockeys, the salesmen, the program and music directors, and their secretaries and girlfriends and wives and their staff.
Unless, of course, we are willing to assume that we can assume the responsibility that their opinions will not influence anyone else's opinions.
Or their family and friends.
And staff.
Makes sense.
Covers everything, doesn't it?
It really does cover everything.
Glad we hired those lawyers to make that.
Just to make it very clear that whatever.
Yeah, that whatever we say, nobody in the building actually agrees with, pretty much. Is that what you're...
Yes,
sort of...
that would be it. We wanted to outdo the Devil's disclaimer.
Oh, is that it?
But I don't know. It's a battle.
No, it's not a battle. We love the Devils. They're good.
Yeah, no.
They're good Devils.
Yeah, they're the good Devils. But, the disclaimer thing.
Yeah. You got to make sure to cover your butt. That's all we're doing, really. It's just
definitely.
Hey, it's clouded up here. We're in the mid 30s, expecting highs in the low 40s today. Looks like a nice weekend ahead of us. Mid 40s Saturday, mid 50s on Sunday.
I hate to disagree with you. I think
What?
it's just haze. I think it's cloudy.
Wait a minute. Well, let's recap though. Can we
I think it's haze.
Do you think the weather is not going to
hazy.
be
It's
what
just
I said
morning
it is?
haze. That's all it is.
What's the weather for the weekend gonna be? Will it be hot, cold, rain, snow?
Well, like I was saying, weekend weather, Saturday, mid-40s, about 46, and then Sunday, a mix of clouds and some sunshine, high around 55. Yeah!
Always great, yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't
Yep,
that just
the
put you in a
marathon? It does. I want
happy
to run.
Yeah, the Madison Marathon going on this weekend. Yeah. Saturday and Sunday, apparently.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So,
all right, here we go.
I want people to understand what it's like having a MAGA friend. Now, I have one in Milwaukee, and he separates the MAGA part from our actual past. So it's like having a conversation with two different people. It's just, which one is he going to focus on this time? And if it's, about our past, fine, we can talk for hours. If it's a MAGA thing, then, we have
there's a line,
a major disagreement constantly.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, what's it like?
Yeah,
if you don't have a MAGA friend,
right?
What's it like?
What is it like,
John?
I
have found a clip from a television station somewhere in the U.S. They were trying to have a conversation with a MAGA.
Yeah.
And this woman is the shining example of what it's like trying to have a conversation with somebody who believes in the Trump God.
Tell me about if Donald Trump does not win, what do you do?
I hope that I'm going to die.
You want to die if Donald Trump doesn't win?
I don't want to live like this anymore. You like our country the way it is now?
I mean, it doesn't really matter what I think, but you've got a pretty good life. You got nice clothes on, you got hat on, sunglasses, you got your health. I mean, the country's done pretty well by you, right?
No, the country hasn't done anything by me. I've done everything for myself. My husband and I took care of ourselves as we grew older. Now, when we got ready to retire, we had planned what we were going to do. Now, what is the country doing for me now? Do I get any interest on anything that I put away and saved?
Well, your money is safe, right?
I wouldn't say that.
Feels a little entitled.
Access to health care?
I have access to health care because my husband served 20 years in the military.
So the military did something for your family. The military is trustworthy, right? I mean, the military healthcare system's great.
No, I wouldn't say it's great. We were promised free health care for our whole life, but that did not happen.
What is it that is so bad about where America is or where you are right now with America that you would want to die if Donald Trump doesn't win?
I just don't want to live in a country that is screwed up as this one, that people are so out of control and that they think that everything that they're entitled to everything. What do you think about the stealing that's going on right now?
What do you mean stealing?
People walk into stores and just can walk out with stuff.
Well, crime is a problem, but there's also a lot of places where people have to...
Crime is increasing every day.
Actually, the data shows it's not.
Well, I don't care what the data shows. You and I can't talk to each other because you have a totally different idea of what's going on than what I have.
Based on
So
facts.
what do you trust?
I trust Donald Trump. I trust Donald Trump. And what really upsets me the most is everybody remembers that one little blip that Billy Bush put out there when he first started to run.
About grabbing the...
Yeah. That's the...
I mean, that was pretty memorable.
Well, why is that memorable? Why isn't it memorable the things that he did do?
Well, he's been indicted in 4 different cases and 91 criminal charges.
None of that stuff is true. You know it's not.
I don't know whether it's true or not. I just know that. No, I just know that
a non-Trumper.
No, I'm just a journalist who sees that he's been in. I mean, so how do you explain all these charges? How do you explain all? What's going
they're all
on?
made up.
They're all made up.
Yep, they're all made up.
Yep.
So the election interference in Georgia, Sidney Powell and Kenneth Chesebro, who worked for Donald Trump as lawyers, they just pled guilty and admitted.
I don't believe that either.
You don't believe they pled guilty?
Nope.
So when they said that they were...
I never turn on the news. I never turn on the TV. I never listen to any of that.
So where do you get your information if you don't watch the news?
I get my information from Telegram.
From Telegram. Wow. Are there any liberal or progressive voices on Telegram?
I don't have any idea.
There are not. Is it important to hear from people who have a different point of view than you?
I'd like to sit down with a liberal someday and have them tell me what it is that they think is so great about what's going on right now. But they won't talk to you about it.
No.
Well, what particular issue would you like to talk about?
I don't know. What do you think is so great about what's going on right now?
I think what's so great is that people who are in the United States now have more opportunities than anywhere else around the world.
When's the last time you paid for a loaf of bread?
I just went to the store the other day and I was glad to see that inflation is down.
Oh, no. We can't talk anymore.
Unemployment is down. My 401k is doing great. The markets are awesome.
I can't even see. That's why I can't talk to a liberal.
Well, if we can't talk to each other, what are we going to do?
And she walks away. And she just walked away. Wasn't that classic?
Yeah, it
mean,
is.
Seriously.
Yeah. That's
Telegram. Well, I'm going to have to go there. Become the
That's
only
a website.
Liberal.
No, that's it. Yeah, we should check it
Become
out.
the only liberal to respond to people and have them, offer up all their proof like she just did.
That was, boy, we got to save that interview. That's a keeper.
Here she was, saying that she expected health care for life. Now, that's an amazing thing because, liberals and Democrats want universal health care in this country where everybody has health care for life.
Mm-hmm.
But no, she wants to get it through the military, and she doesn't even like that. So, and then, this is like strongly entitled, right? And then she said, well, everybody expects to get something for nothing and something for free,
And except for that one little blip of Trump.
Because
Trump
nothing else happened after that.
With Billy Bush.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the one thing.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
The guys in the locker room talk like that all the time. Yeah. It's locker room talk. I think that's what Trump said, right?
Yeah,
it was locker room talk.
He's never been in a locker room. Well, I guess at the golf course. Yeah.
No, women's locker room, basically, for the beauty pageants. Come on.
There you go.
And we know that happened. So,
yeah, that's really amazing. So that's how you that's what it's like when you talk to your MAGA friend, right?
That is exactly
same kind of
what
deal.
It's like.
Yeah, but if you're talking about the old times, none of that happens. But you talk about current events, that's where it goes.
It's this whole separate thing. And, maybe if you can't talk to that MAGA anymore, see if, that little experiment could work. Just talk about your personal relationship prior to Trump.
There you go.
And see how that goes, because maybe, this is something you've never explored, and maybe they overlap too often. And if you can just separate the politics from what you knew that person to be like prior to Trump, maybe there is something still there. So,
and maybe you can figure out where that line was. Where did they go into the MAGA world? Was it because they didn't like Hillary Clinton, and they were just never going to vote for Hillary, no matter what, and then Trump appeared?
There you go. That could have been jumping off point.
Maybe.
Because they really built up the villainy of Hillary Clinton for
all
years.
These horrible things that were going to happen, yeah.
Ever since she tried to come up with a universal health care plan for the country.
Boy, why would a first lady come up with anything?
They were saying, "Oh,
meaningful?
What qualifies her?" It's always, what qualifies a Democrat to do anything. But you could certainly have, your children working in the White House who don't qualify for anything.
Yeah.
But it's different. It's different
Things
on
have
that side.
changed. Yes.
They're more American.
Wow.
They're the true patriots.
Okay. So. If you'd like to chime in, we've got a phone number you can call, 608-879-8255. That's 608-879-TALK. And, of course, you can get on the Civic Media app. Yeah, we got a few comments coming in.
Yeah.
Locker room talk. Oh, and sleeping with porn stars? Yeah, that was just talk. PP tapes in Russia.
Just talk.
Thank you to Andrew from Verona for chiming in. Yes, you can text us as well. We got another one.
How about that one? Maybe you could have talked with Crudy and convinced him that Biden is doing an awesome job and doesn't need to be replaced.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I know.
Well, there are a lot of Democrats that are sort of like having
he's
second
a little
thoughts.
old. He's a little old, a little teetering on the edge, but you have to be nice to our senior citizens.
Yeah.
Not talk down to them, not wish that they'd go away.
Yeah. Well,
I know I convinced a whole bunch of people with that.
By the way,
I'm going to work on that one.
Okay, you do that. Okay. In just a few minutes, we're trying to reach. We have an idea that we're going to contact. We've been working on this for weeks.
Yeah.
Seeing if we could get somebody in the White House or somebody in the higher ups to call us here. And we think it may happen this morning, right?
Well, we
hope.
We're trying to outdo everybody else.
That's right.
You can talk to any local politician,
right?
But you get somebody from the White House, what'll happen.
We'll stand
again,
by.
Biden wins, right? Inflation Reduction Act, Chips and Science Act, Pact for Veterans. Remember all the Republicans voted against that.
Yeah, that's right.
Because they're true patriots and they backed the military, but they didn't like the legislation.
Yeah, all kinds of things, all kinds of accomplishments from the Biden administration. So hopefully we will get on the line here shortly.
We'll see.
I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break.
Somebody might be calling now.
Oh, I think that, the lights are flashing in the control room there. Okay, that could mean something. We'll be back with more.
Heart attack. Somebody had a heart attack.
No. We'll be back with the John and Gordy Show after this.
And now we do have a call from the White House.
Somebody's on the John and Gordy hotline here.
Or somebody's White House.
Well, let's see who we.
Let's see what we have here.
Good morning. Who's?
I'm supposed to stand. Hear that song? You're supposed to stand.
Oh, we didn't.
Jazzercise.
We didn't stand.
Wait a minute.
We didn't.
Is this the president? Is this president?
Who's this?
Is this the president?
Look, who's this?
This is John and Gordy. We're in Madison, Wisconsin.
No, John and Gordy. Listen, John and Gordy.
Yeah.
Listen. Now look,
Yes.
Listen.
Okay, listen.
Okay, we're
Listen,
listening.
We're Americans. We're all Americans.
We are. Yeah.
It's time to go for a walk. We go for a walk.
No, don't do that.
Mr.
Not
President,
yet.
don't walk right now.
Where am I?
Mr.
Which
President,
direction am I supposed to go?
President
Slowly.
Joe,
Just go slow. Do
Yeah, just
not push it.
take a deep breath. We just want to talk to you for a few minutes. Yeah.
Breathing's good. We're breathing. We all have to breathe. Americans breathe.
Yes, it is. Wow, I can't believe we have the president.
Years 1980. And it's time for America, new America.
It is.
Working families. Gordy.
Yes.
John, listen. Look, John, Gordy. Listen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen.
We're listening.
America. We're in America. What state are we in?
State of confusion,
What's
apparently.
the country? And what's the country?
America?
United States. If you
US?
shorten it, it spells us.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I got to take my pills.
Well, while you're doing that,
Do not forget to do that.
now, Mr. President,
We'll give you a moment.
you were in our area just yesterday or day before, or in Belvedere, talking to some union workers.
Yeah.
So, how did that go?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh, there's working families. We got ice cream. I get ice cream today. We had applesauce that day. We had applesauce. And it's a good meal. It's good folks.
Yeah.
There's good folks there.
There are really good folks there.
They got hats.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on there? Wait. Oh.
Commander, Champ.
The dogs are.
That's my leg. I got a big chunk to my leg.
Is that why you can't walk?
Down, Champ.
Okay.
Down.
Yeah, let's
Buster,
settle. Hope they settle down.
Get off,
Okay.
Get off me.
Oh.
Okay, now I got to change my pajamas.
Oh.
I need my diaper change service man to come yet.
Diaper. Oh,
that is tough.
Come yet this morning.
That's a senior problem.
First visitor, pill lady.
Okay.
Second visitor, diaper change.
Mr. President, you've had a
visitor.
Let me
third
just.
visitor, Secretary of State. We're talking about the war in Ukraine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, important issues.
Yeah.
No, listen. Look.
Yes.
Look, important issues this morning. Important.
Let's focus, okay?
Well, we're
trying. All Americans should come together. We're gonna come together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we are. I think we are.
What time are we? What time are we doing the next activity?
We want to talk about some of your activities, some of your accomplishments.
No, it's pain therapy this morning.
Well,
pain therapy, and then I'm looking forward to the ice cream and the walk.
Are you a part of the are you part of the Silver Sneakers campaign? You don't know that one.
It's campaign for American lives. We all have to work together.
More people. Thanks.
I'm fit as a fiddle.
Speaking of that,
that's what I'm thinking.
Speaking of that, Mr. President, more people have health insurance than ever before, thanks to your administration. So we thank you for that.
Right.
You've had a lot of accomplishments over the last few years, right, John?
Absolutely. Rallied our allies to support Ukraine.
Yeah.
Right. NATO.
Yes, important work, and it's for the American people.
It is.
And we stand for medicine, and we stand for ointment. I need my ointment.
Ointment's important. Yes.
Yeah. Well, the historic job growth in the country. You've helped the veterans.
Yeah.
American jobs.
Yes.
Yes.
Salute you for adding 11 million jobs in the last several years. That's amazing. You should be commended for that.
The Inflation Reduction Act.
I made a diplomatic visit to the sun this week. We're going to stop climate change. I met with my counterpart on the sun. His name is King Hotface.
Oh, I see.
And he made a fire. You can't touch him. Can't shake his hand.
Do you talk?
I can shake his hand.
You talk to him often, or?
I'm the president of the United States.
Yes.
I met with him yesterday. We're going to confront climate change. We're going to get gas prices down at the pump.
Well, Joe, I
understand.
I understand. You really sound like you have a busy schedule, and the diaper change is coming up. So we're going to take a break here.
Wait,
we'll let you go.
Commodore,
Okay.
here, get down.
I understand those dogs are mean to everybody.
He's got those dogs. So
Stop
those.
it.
Why
Stop
can't those? You have those dogs on a tight leash, but they keep biting some of your aides and some of your Secret Service guys.
That's right. How'd that happen?
Yeah.
I got a lot of. We got a lot of bites. We got a lot of tetanus. I get my tetanus shot.
That's good to have
And
around the
he
White House.
That's
nowadays.
good.
Took a big chunk out of my leg. I can see the bone.
Gee, that must
look,
hurt.
Gordy, listen, look.
Yeah.
You see my bone, I'm still going to do my morning walk.
You haven't done any
Still
bike
gonna
rides
walk.
lately, have you? You kind of stay on off the
No.
bike now. Yeah.
We're off the bike. We're walking. We're putting on the bright white tennis shoes. They're very bright up the squint. And I walk.
Yeah.
And I
you do.
wrap the wound, and somebody else takes care of the dogs. We have a
Good.
great day. We're going to do more for the American people today.
Okay, I
Every
hope you
day,
do.
That's what
I
we're
hope
going
you
to
do.
do.
All right.
And you got that Mustang
gonna
in the
take my
garage.
Adderall.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to take my Adderall, and we're going to do Bidenomics.
Biden
That's what
now.
we're
Excellent.
gonna do.
Excellent.
All right.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
Mr.
Look,
President.
bottom line is this. Bottom line.
Yes.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
After that, it's pain therapy, and then jazzercise. That's the bottom line.
Jazzercise.
Look,
Wow. Yeah.
John Gordy,
We're
Yes.
looking.
you're good Americans.
Thank you.
You're good
Thank you.
Americans.
It's good. It's good. Really.
And-
Thanks for everything you've done too.
Yeah.
All right.
We appreciate it.
It's a
You okay?
it's a
Remember that.
privilege,
Did we lose?
privilege to be in America.
Okay.
It is. All right. Well, we're gonna we're gonna let you go because it sounds like a really busy day
Yeah.
for you. Okay, Joe.
Thank
We
you.
got a lot of activities planned.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, we got a busy.
We're gonna do a lot for-
Oh, here come the dogs again. We better let them go. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
Get down.
Thank you
Sit
for
down.
being with John and Gordy this
Yes.
morning. We appreciate it. Call us back anytime, Mr.
We're
President.
looking forward to your next call.
Oh, okay. I think we
I'll
lost.
call you back at 4:30.
Okay. Okay.
Look,
Great.
look for my call.
Yes,
4:30.
we will wait for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're good Americans.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. President. Yes.
A great
That's,
American.
Boy, a
He's a great
fantastic American. And boy, we sure appreciate the President of the
Fantastic.
United
Wasn't that
States
something else?
being with us and
Yeah.
spending a few minutes with us today.
And you really
You know, when you
you
hear
admire anybody with that kind of energy level at his age.
Yeah. When you hear that hail to the chief music too,
Yeah.
it just you think of how great it is.
Yeah, you think
Yeah,
so?
Yeah, I think so. Anyway.
Well,
All right. Wow. That's just amazing that he actually called us.
yeah.
We'll have to. Hopefully, we'll hear from him again.
Sounds sharp,
Yes.
like he's had his coffee this morning.
Yes, he
So-
is. All right. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more after this brief timeout.
We'll be right back to the action right after this message.
Let the sun shine.
It's the John and Gordy Show. John and Gordy. Oh, John and Gordy. John and Gordy. Oh, John and Gordy.
Okay.
All right, we'll get
7:34.
nice morning going. WMDX, Mad Radio 92.7. And you can always tell us what you think online.
Yeah. Hey, we got a few messages here.
Well, we do. We have major criticism. You guys are idiots for degrading the president.
That's
I'll
what's
never
up.
listen to your show again.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you. We
thanks.
appreciate the criticism and
like
the
the humor.
openness,
Yes.
the blunt nature of your message, the brutality. And the other person says, not funny. There you go.
Okay.
So,
And another one said, not even funny, even the slightest. I'd expect a little bit more from a talk radio station in terms of real content of value.
there
Okay,
you go.
well, we appreciate your comments. And yes, well,
we're kind of playing off the fact that, the right wing thinks that he is incapable of doing anything.
Yeah.
And if you have listened to this show, you know that I've always talked about this, and I think it's ageism for a lot of people to think that he isn't capable or up to the presidency when you consider the presidential schedule, what he has to go through, what he has to do, the preparation that's involved. This guy is out and about constantly all the time, speaking to groups constantly. And that is something you criticize, for the right wing anyway. And so I'm a big supporter of Biden, and I think that this guy has what it takes to continue another 4 years.
Yeah, and we're both, big supporters, and we're just having a little fun.
But we're also old.
So we can make fun of old people.
We
Is that what you're saying?
You know what? We can do that.
Well, look at all that he's accomplished, in his time as president.
Well, yeah,
too.
we mentioned all that stuff
we
to try to
ticked off.
soften the blow of the parody. But you kind of have to. We're just having fun with that.
Well, and the thing is, the president makes fun of himself. Too,
Absolutely.
right?
In fact, I brought a clip in today just to prove.
Given a shot, a fair shot and a fair wage. That's not too much to ask. You okay? I want the press to know that wasn't me.
See? What happened there exactly? Somebody
somebody
fell down?
Somebody in the press, fell off their chair or something, fell asleep while he was talking.
Yeah.
But he was talking to union individuals, and he just wanted to make sure that everybody knew it wasn't him. He has fun with it.
Yes.
We're having fun with it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all. That's all it is.
Take it too seriously here, I mean, we're defenders of people who are older and they can hold office. All right. It's unfortunate that, this is even an issue because Trump is obviously quite out of shape and he's speaking incoherently. So you got to wonder about the mental capabilities there. And he's only 3 years younger than Biden. And he has difficulty, by the way, holding water, and he has difficulty walking down a ramp. So
when you say holding water, a glass of water, you mean?
Yeah.
Like he has to hold it with two hands.
Exactly.
And, okay. Yeah. Got another comment here. Says, hey, you got to get some satire out on the airwaves, especially 7 o'clock on a Friday morning. Well, thank you, Andrew, for chiming in.
Yep.
Yeah. See, Andrew gets it.
Well, look, the people who have criticized us, fine.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Fine.
It's good. It's good to let us know what you think.
Yeah, we appreciate your comments. Yeah,
I'm devastated. I'm going to go home and cry.
Are you going to be okay? I hope you're all right.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, again, we were talking before about this Madison Marathon is happening this weekend. We've been watching them as they get the downtown area cleaned up around the Capitol. I guess it's happening
They're
both
gonna
Saturday
have barricades,
and Sunday.
Not Saturday.
Oh, I thought you said it was a 2-day event.
I don't know. It says
That's what it
Sunday.
said.
That's
Okay,
the day.
so
It's
all right.
a 2-day event. Maybe it takes a long time for people to finish the course.
Maybe
right? It's a
they have
Boston
some-
Marathon qualifying thing.
I guess Saturday is just they're getting ready for it.
Yeah,
The
they're
Saturday
going to put
day.
barricades up and all that.
Yeah, they've been cleaning the
we got
streets.
the farmers market down here. I don't think they want to interrupt that.
Well, that's true.
So
yeah, busy weekend.
Bringing
around
up
here.
the farmers market, this made me a little angry.
What?
The nude bike rally
Oh,
that
this
we
thing
see
again.
once a year.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah.
And they interviewed a few people about this. I'm never going downtown again. I used to go to the farmer's market, but I'm not anymore because I don't know if there's going to be that nude bike rally.
It's once a year.
Yes, it's once a year. So you're never going to go to the farmer's market for that? God, you got to be really badly uptight. It's real
And they kind of
uptight.
give you a warning, that it's on the agenda. The nude bike riding is going to happen on such and such a
They
date.
don't want to read.
Oh, okay. Well, let's make sure that we do our part in letting everybody know when it's happening so people can avoid being downtown.
Oh,
what?
we got to watch for this. Yeah, breaking news in honor of the Madison Marathon. I'll be streaking past the studio at 7:50. There you
Okay,
go.
Andrew.
Okay. All right.
Good deal. All right, we'll make sure to get the security cameras pointed out there. Yeah, somebody else says that'll give John something to peek out the window about.
Gawk
out the window. Yes. Yes.
Well, I have a clear view. You have to look toward me
That's
inside
right.
the studio. I'm looking straight out there.
I know. And we got a beautiful view of State Street and is that Dayton? I think
That's
Dayton
Dayton.
Street.
But
and we're just a block off the Capitol.
if there's an accident, do not call me as a witness. Okay.
You don't
I know
wanna-
I'm watching. I know I can see it all, but
Okay.
don't ask me to be a witness. All right.
All right. We
All right.
won't. Okay.
Oh, hey,
What?
somebody did ask us, have we talked about the new Beatle record?
Oh, yeah. We were talking about it. What do you want to know about it?
Do we still have that cut? Any place?
We'll have to dig
Here's
for
the
it.
thing with the Beatle record.
Yeah.
Because we talked about it ad nauseum at one time. Now,
When it came out
and
a
I've
week or
watched,
so
I
ago.
watched the making of. I watched the whole thing.
You
Right.
watched the
And
video?
I did.
Oh, the video
it's
is
fantastic
tremendous.
video.
It's really something.
You nailed it. That was terrific.
I didn't do
The
anything
whole-
with it, but I mean,
No,
I didn't
you
make
let
it.
me know. You let me know.
Okay.
And I would normally would not have watched it. Remember,
Right.
I said initially that the song is a little unspectacular.
But it
And then
grows on you.
it
You notice
does.
that?
It
I mean,
does.
it just sounds better and better every time I hear it.
It
It's
does.
like, wow, this
Yeah.
really is a great song.
And
Yeah.
because I don't listen to music radio anymore,
Yeah.
I'm not tired of it.
Okay.
so I can still listen to it. But it
So
is-
what was your point on the song? Wait, why are you bringing this up?
I just thought that the song, here it is.
Yeah, let's listen for a few seconds.
And if I make it through, it's all because of you. And now and then, if we must start again, well, we will know for sure that I will love you.
The thing about that, I'm picturing the Beatles getting back together again. The message in that, to me, seems like he's talking to the other Beatles, saying he loves them, and if they get back together, he'll love it even more. And it's an emotional message that you just can't deny.
Well, and this was found on a cassette. Everybody knows the story by now, but this was a
You'll
cassette.
post it on there saying, this should go to Paul.
Yeah, it was for Paul. And you notice in the video, there's a real long shot of Paul at one point when it gets to a sort of an emotional part of the song.
Right.
And he's just taking it all in.
Just
the video really is
It's powerful. And
it's amazing.
I got to say that my wife, Ann, I played it on her beautiful OLED 65-inch TV. We watched the video, and at the end of the video, she was crying.
I know. It is very emotional.
So,
and just to see images of John and George intermixing, now and then, with more current images of Paul and Ringo. And
I have to admit
what?
that if she sees me in the kitchen, she starts crying. So
she cries.
She
pretty
cries
easy crier.
Easy.
Yeah, she sees you, it starts weeping immediately.
So,
I've noticed that
I know,
a few times that I've been invited over.
God.
Well, by the way, you invited me, but you didn't get very specific about when you want me to come over. You just said come over.
It's an open invitation.
Is
if you
it?
ever
I
want to
just
watch
drop by
the Marvel Universe, or maybe watch the Travel Channel and watch some Ghost Adventures episodes, something like that. Look, somebody please message us and tell them how good Ghost Adventures are, because they're nuts. These guys are just loonies. They're drama
ghost
queens.
hunters?
Yes,
Ghost
they're
hunters.
kind of ghost hunters, and they're drama queens. They really over dramatize the event that they're doing at every house, every field, every barn, every former brothel. It's just an amazing show. It is. It's fun. It's funny.
I get that. I think it is kind of fun to see some of that going on, but I just wonder, where's the end game in ghost hunting? Where do you? I mean, what's the bottom line in it? Do they really expect that somebody's going to start talking to them and make any sense? You hear these little phrases every once in a while that show up in the microphone. Oh, get out! It said get out.
Yeah.
Or something like
Right.
that. But what does that really do for you? What does that mean?
It's
just
proof
like,
that there is something out there.
Yeah,
Either
the spiritual world, floating
either,
around.
Either they're trapped there, they don't know they've passed on. It's a reoccurring event, like a rerun, constantly playing itself over and over.
I get that, but so what? What are you going to do with that? I mean, it's okay. They're haunted. It's haunted.
Yeah.
Okay, let's pack up the gear and go somewhere else and see if we can find more.
Did you see the end of Poltergeist?
I don't remember the end of Poltergeist.
Where the house
what happened?
Collapses into nothingness.
Yeah, well,
that is what we're looking for. That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for every
you want to see that
haunted
happen?
Place to just collapse into itself, into oblivion.
I just don't know what that does for you. I don't understand the.
It gives you goosebumps.
Well, okay,
it's frightening. It's scary.
It is scary. I'll grant you that. I find it a little unsettling that these people are just obsessed with this so much, and that they have to find something to make the TV show and make a little money on it. It's all about the money. Package it all together.
It isn't.
Ghosts are real, and we can prove it. And give us some money to
the
find
stuff
out some
we've
more.
seen.
Yeah,
they have XLR, some kind of camera, and what it does is it senses motion in the air that you can't see, and it creates stick figures of where the spirit is if it appears in that room next to you, or on the side, or on the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool stuff. It really is. But we have some comments here. If I were married to that mug for the rest of your life, I'd be weeping too.
Wow. Hey, Andrew, coming up with some good zingers
I
there
like
for
that
John.
one.
That's good. That's good. Well, I'm glad you're really into, these meaningful things like ghost hunting.
It says to grab the proton
Marvel.
packs and zap those suckers, Ghostbusters style.
Yeah, that was a great movie. Yeah, fun movie.
Yeah.
Kind of the lighthearted side of ghost hunting, I guess.
There are haunted objects as well that they have to, exercise sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
How could you take the fun out of ghost hunting?
I'm not saying it's
how
not
could
fun.
you be such?
It's entertaining, I guess. It's
such
entertaining.
a wet blanket.
Do the ghosts have SAG and AFTRA cards? Do they get a piece of the action for showing up?
Yeah.
No, I don't think that was covered in the latest contract.
Probably wasn't.
Yeah,
that's
see?
why they're angry,
So
and that's why they'll continue to haunt whatever it is they're haunting.
They want a piece of the action.
They do.
Give us some of your money, because we can spend it here in Ghostland.
Yeah. Ghostland.
Well,
Ghostland.
Well, where do they live? I don't know.
That's
They
the
have a
title
government?
of the next horror movie. I would love to see Ghostland. I really would.
Okay. We'll see if we can copyright that and make some money of our own off of this deal.
Ghostland.
It's all a
God.
sham. They make all that stuff up. They're nothing. Come on. Yeah. Believe it. Okay.
All right.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground here this morning, haven't we?
Well, they've been covered by a lot of ground for many
Oh,
years.
boy. Wow. Okay.
Stretch it.
Bring it in.
Bring it
okay. I think it's time we take a little time out here.
Really?
A little break. Last break of the week.
Towel off.
Yeah. We can kind of regroup, if you will. 7:49.
Ghostland.
Yeah. John and Gordy will be right back.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
Let me tell you how it will be. There's 1 for you, 19 for me. 'Cause I'm the tax man. Yeah, I'm the tax man.
The Tax Radio, WNDX. When you hear that song, you know there's going to be a tax story next.
That's right. And did you hear the news, John? Did you hear the news about the Republicans? Well, it came from, I got this on my Twitter X machine. Newsweek. Newsweek had this story, broke it. It was just one sentence. Republicans suddenly abandon plan for IRS cuts. And it had a picture of Mike Johnson there.
Sure.
See that? That's it. One line.
That's
That's
amazing, isn't it?
They just abandoned it. They were pushing for this.
Picture?
What?
Can you hit the picture and see if it goes to the story?
Oh, here we
There it
go.
is.
Yeah, House Republicans have pulled their spending bill for the second time this week, abandoning the massive cuts to the internet or the Internal Revenue Service proposed by the annual funding legislation.
Isn't that just amazing?
They pulled it minutes before the House vote on Thursday because they really determined there wouldn't be enough votes from the Republican side. They just suddenly figured out, hey, this is a bad idea.
Yeah, maybe just
We don't
a
have the
little bit
votes.
too much criticism, right?
Yes. So that was it. They just pulled it right off the table. And again, government shutdown in 1 week from today. They got to figure that out. They don't have time to
They're
mess
not
around
gonna
with
figure that out.
They're going to figure it out.
No, they aren't. No.
Really?
No.
You think they're going to shut down the government?
Well, yeah. Unless
That's a good look.
Mike Johnson thinks he's going to have a job in a week. They're
You could
going
be-
to bounce him out of there.
You think so?
They've already talked about it. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene brought that up.
Have they
She
really?
wants him out.
Hmm.
He's talking like he's going to compromise.
Mm.
We can't have that.
No.
We don't want
compromise.
a victory. In this state,
Yeah.
the Republicans in the legislature basically, throw away everything the governor gives them.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and here's the ulterior motive, is they don't want the governor to get any credit for anything he proposes. So they throw everything out and they rewrite it.
Yeah.
And they do take some of what he has suggested. They'll just give less money.
Yeah.
Right. Because, they're fiscally responsible by not funding anything or paying for anything or upgrading
Okay.
anything.
Settle down. Your
I
blood
know, I get
pressure,
a little-
okay?
I
Take
get
it easy.
irritated by the
I'm going to
whole
spin the
thought.
news wheel for the last time this week. Let's see what our last story of the week
Last
will be.
time it didn't come up with anything,
look,
and we
it
had to
came up
leave.
to On the Farm.
Ah.
Okay? I think a ghost just grabbed it
I
and
think
put it right back up
It's
on the
luckily
farm.
you stopped the wheel
So
from
no.
falling off.
Yeah, that's
All
it.
right, that's what you
A
did.
century of dairy farming in Wisconsin heartland. This is a wonderful little story. Do we have some farm music standing by? Do we have anything? Oh, yeah.
That's perfect farm music.
I love this song. Let's sing it. Yeah. What show was that from, John? Green Acres.
Green Acres is the place to be.
Oh, yeah.
Farm living is the life for me. Land spreading out so far and wide. Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside.
Here comes Ava.
New York is where I'd rather stay. I get allergic smelling hay. I just adore a penthouse view. Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue.
The chores.
The stores.
Okay.
Fresh air.
That's nice.
Here's the story,
You are
John.
my wife?
Yeah.
Now that we've offended every farmer out there.
No. This is a good story. This is this is near Door County. There's a family there, 5 generations, been farming in near Door County there.
Yeah.
They, in fact, it's in Kewaunee County, where there are 80 dairy cows per square mile. Can you think of that? And it's home to 100 dairy farms in Kewaunee County up there near Door Peninsula. They were milking 55,000 cows in that county. That's about 35,000 more dairy cows than people in that county.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's
It is
mind-boggling.
and it is a huge problem for Kewanee County.
Well, it's not. It's the Salentine family has been there for 5 generations since 1920, when they purchased the original 80-acre farm. And then their kids, took it, and the grandkids.
Is it still a
and now
small
it's
family
5
farm, or is it a
no,
large?
It's a large operation. They have 300 cows themselves, and they've been hosting, breakfast on the farm over the years. That's a huge deal. And so we salute them. The John and Gordy show. Salute the Salentine family farm up there. I mean, really, think about that. 5 generations, same place. They've expanded it over the years. It's a big operation. All those cows.
There's not a lot
twice
of
a day getting milk.
Yeah, I know, but
a lot of work.
It's
good for them.
There's
What?
a lot. There's a
here comes the
a pollution
downside
problem.
Not a pollution problem. What are you talking about? The flatulence from the cows?
The aquifer is being contaminated.
Come on.
By runoff and
I think they've got it under control. They've been doing it a long time there. Yeah, they're in good shape.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Why don't you just give it a little tip of the hat instead of coming up with all the negative stuff all
Kewanee
the
County
time?
is, making a lot of news constantly because the farms are getting larger and larger in that area, and there's not a lot of ground above the aquifer to filter a lot of the pollution out. So
they have 560 acres now of corn, soybeans, alfalfa, and wheat that they contour strip cropping where it's beneficial.
That's beneficial, yeah.
They have figured that out.
I'm not saying that they're irresponsible. I'm saying that there is a tremendous amount of large farms in just one area.
I just saw this part.
Okay.
If they do add on to the barn, they're thinking about expanding the barn. Okay. I think they probably expanded it a few times over the year.
I would think so.
Get this. They will make room if they add robots later. Not enough people in the family apparently ready to take over. So they're going to put some robots in there to milk the cows. Wow.
George Jetson.
Welcome to the future.
Yeah.
Isn't that
something else?
What a great story to end our week on. We had the president in with us earlier.
I know. Somebody suggested the book Haunted Wisconsin by Michael Norman.
Okay.
Great book. Great book.
Is it?
I used to
read it?
In my radio life, I have interviewed people about their ghost books.
Yeah.
And it's like proof. These are stories that they've gotten from other people.
Proof.
I talked to her about my little experience on the farm where I saw that apparition in a room. Remember
you
that
told
story?
Me that, yeah.
Well, she put it in her book, and I'm written up in a ghost book.
That's great, John. All right.
Thank you.
That's going to wrap it up for the John and Gordy Show for this Friday and for this week. Thank you for joining us. We will be back Monday morning, bright and early. We hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Gordy in the morning. As we were saying, let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.